Good morning, first graders. My name is Ms. Muller, and I am so happy to see you. I'm actually in my classroom right now, and if you go to Westover Hills Elementary School, it might look a little familiar to you. If it doesn't, welcome to room 5. We haven't had very many kids in here for 2 months now, and we've been missing seeing you. So I am so excited to be able to spend a little bit of time with you this morning so that we can talk about and learn some pretty cool things. Are you ready to get started? Yay! Me too. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. So be patient with me while I get it all set up. We're going to start with our I can statement. Our I can statement says, I can read and spell words with the R sound. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we do that, I want to start with a little bit of a review with some things that you feel pretty comfortable with, I'm sure. What sound does this letter make? Put on that thinking cap and see if you can tell me what sound this letter makes. Did you say 2 sounds? You're right. The letter A does make 2 sounds. It has a short vowel sound, which says ah, like in apple, and it has a long vowel sound that says A, like in acorn. Very good. What about this letter? What sound does this letter make? Good job. It does say the sound. Very nice. But what happens when we put them together? So think about that I can statement. And this little guy right here, he might be able to give us a little hint too. Does anybody know what a pirate says? You're right. Pirates say, arr. And that's what AR says when you put them together. AR says, arr. Say it with me. Arr. Very good. So let's try to read a few R words together. So we're going to blend some sounds. So we're going to start here with the ST blend. Let's do it together, nice and slow. St, R. And when we put them together, we have star. Good. So one more time, we'll do it slow. St, R. And then fast is star. Excellent work. Let's try this one. First, we do it slow, D, R, K, and then we blend them quickly. Dark. Very good. How about this one? R, and then fast, arm. Oh my goodness, you're so good at this, boys and girls. Ooh, this one could look like a nonsense word. Z, R, czar. But because it starts with a capital letter, does anybody have any idea what czar or who czar might be? Did you guess a person's name or a character? I think you're right. When words start with capital letters and it's not in the beginning of sentences, they're usually telling us the name of someone or something. So this might be the name of a person named Czar. Very good. Ooh, we have another capital letter, and it's a longer word. So we're going to chunk this one into smaller pieces. We're going to break it right here in between that R and the V and see if we can sound it out. Ready? R. So let's put that together. Mar. And then we've got V, I, N, Vin. And if we put the whole thing together, we have Marvin. And Marvin does sound like it could be. Good job. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Now let's try to spell a few R words together. So what I want you to do is I want you to press pause and go grab a dry erase board and a marker or a pencil and a paper. And when you're ready, you can press play again. Go ahead. I'll wait. Did you get your tools? Excellent. Here's your first word. Your first word is dart. Now to do this, I want you to try to break it out into its sounds so we can chop it. Ready? Let's take the word dart and chop it into its sounds. D, R, T. Good. Think about how we spell that R sound. Go ahead. You can press pause if you need another minute or two. If you're ready to move on, you can press play again. Dart. Did you say D-R-T with your spelling? D-A-R-T? Good job, first graders. Let's try another word. Your next word is hard. So remember how we chopped it into its sounds before? Hard. Good. Press pause while you write, and then when you're ready, you can press play again. Let's check your work. R-D, hard, H-A-R-D. Good work. How about this one? Oh, Ms. Muller, I gave it away. We were going to spell harm, but I went too fast and I showed it to you beforehand. To harm something means to hurt it. And if you were going to chop it into its sounds, it would be R, but we've already done that. So we should skip ahead and do the next one. Here's the next one. Part. Break it into its sounds, chop it up, and then write it out. And if you need a minute, you can press pause. And when you're ready, you press play again. Okay, are you ready to check your work? Let's do it. P-R-T, part, P-A-R-T. Excellent. One more. Let's try bark. Break it into its sounds and then write them out. Press pause if you need to. Let's see what you did. Bark. B-R-K. Bark. Excellent job, first graders. I'm so impressed with how hard you worked. We're going to move on now to the next part of this lesson that says I can read a book and answer questions about the story. So we're going to try to read a book together that has lots of R words in it. But we also want to be able to answer questions about our story. And to help us out before we get going, we're going to review some quick sight words that you're going to need to know. So these are a few of the words that you're going to need to know to read to be able to read our book. So this first one here is ow. OW says ow, so it's now. The next word is light. Light. An IGH in this word says the I sound, but this word is light. This one we're going to break out. It's air. There. Down here we've got sh, d, should. Okay, and here we've got, this one is want. That A doesn't follow the rules, does it? So Ms. Miller likes to call those heart words because we just have to learn that one by heart. And this one is put. And again, it's another heart word because that U doesn't make the sound that it should. It should be saying right? So let's read them one more time together. We're going to do it more quickly. Ready? Now, light, there, should, want, put. Excellent. Very good job. And as we read, I want you to try to use your imagination to think about the story elements. Your imagination is when your brain actually kind of creates its own pictures and stories in your mind, right? And I want you to do that as we're reading. I want you to think about the story elements, which are the characters, the setting. So the characters are who the story is about. The setting is where and when the story takes place. What is the problem in our story? And what is the solution? How do we solve it? All right, so let's go right now. Ms. Muller is going to share our book with you. Here it is. Look at that picture. What is happening? It looks like maybe he's in bed and he's playing with a rocket. It looks like I see some stars around and it's dark out. So I'm going to make a prediction that this story takes place at night. And the name of our book is called Marvin's Trip to Mars. And it's written by Laura Appleton Smith. She's our author. And illustrated by Kanyo White, who is our illustrator, or the person who does the pictures for the story. Remember, as we read, pay attention to those R words. Ooh, there's one. Mars and Marvin. There we go. Hop up, Marvin. You can bring your rocket to bed, Mom tells Marvin as she pulls back his quilt. When I am big, I will blast off in a rocket. I will visit the planets and stars, Marvin tells Mom. She tucks him into bed. But for now, you can visit the planets and stars in your imagination, Mom tells Marvin as she kisses him. Mom pats Max the dog and clicks off the light. It is dark. Look at that picture. You can see out the window. It's dark. It's nighttime. And here's Marvin in his bed with his rocket. I bet he's using his imagination. Oh, and look, I just saw another clue in the picture. Over here, there's a picture of Mars. Sounds like Marvin must really like outer space. Just then, a red man with lots of arms is standing next to Marvin's bed. I am Czar from Mars. I will do you no harm. Do you want to visit Mars and the rest of the planets and stars? Yes, but I should ask Mom and Dad, Marvin tells him. Mom and Dad are tucked in bed. Can I visit Mars? Marvin asks. Yes, Marvin, when you are big, Dad tells him. In your imagination, Marvin, Mom tells him. Czar's rocket is parked in the backyard. It hums and hisses and sparks. Marvin straps into a harness. Czar presses lots of buttons in the cockpit with his arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff! The rocket blasts up and up, so far that cars and trucks are just specks of light. Marvin's yard is just a mark on the big planet Earth. Put on your dark glasses, Czar tells Marvin and Max. Next, we will pass the sun. The sun is so hot. It is hard for Marvin to imagine that the rocket will not melt. Past the sun, Czar stops the rocket. They drift in between the stars and planets. This is fantastic, Marvin tells Czar. Max barks. Czar hands Marvin a map. That distant red planet is Mars. We can visit Mars and fill the rocket up with gas. Looks like they're using some kind of machinery to help land. And filling up the rocket. Oh, and look, there's another alien. On Mars, Marvin begins to miss planet Earth. He misses his mom and dad and his yard. Can we go back? Marvin asks. Yes, as fast as you can imagine, Czar tells him. As fast as that, Marvin is back in bed. His rocket is in his arms. Max is on the bed next to him. The sun was up. Czar had departed. There was no rocket in the yard. Had Marvin and Max visited Mars? Or was Czar just part of Marvin's fantastic imagination? It is up to you to decide. Did you like our story? Did you use your imagination? I bet you did. Now we're going to do some work together. I'm going to show you the packet that you get to work on and give you a couple examples, and then I'm going to send you off on your way to get started. Here we go. So there's 3 activities that I'd like you to do today. The first one is this read and think, where you're going to read part of the story again and then answer the question. It says, hop up, Marvin. You can bring your rocket to bed, Mom tells Marvin as she pulls back his quilt. When I am big, I will blast off in a rocket. I will visit the planets and stars, Marvin tells Mom as she tucks him into bed. But for now, you can visit the planets and stars in your imagination, Mom tells Marvin as she kisses him. Mom pats Max the dog and clicks off the light. It is dark. So the question is, what have you learned about the characters and the setting that is important to the story setup? What I'd like you to do is I'm going to show you how I answered that question using the information from the story. So in that part of the story, it said that Marvin got to take his rocket to bed. It also said that Marvin's mom was kissing him goodnight and told him to use his imagination. So that gives me a couple of pieces of information about the characters and about the setting that sets me up for the whole story. This is what I've written. You can do it your way, but I wrote Marvin, he's one of the characters. Marvin loves outer space. It is bedtime. And both of those things used important information from the text to be able to do it. And you can see I just wrote on a dry erase board. So you could write on a dry erase board with a marker, you could write on a plain piece of paper, or you could print out that packet if you have access to a printer at home, right? There's 2 more sections that I want to show you. I'm going to go back in. Go. The first one is down here at the bottom, and it's our word sort. And you've done word sorts before, but really what you're going to do for each of these is you're going to decide if these words, hard, had, ham, harm, pat, part, bark, and back, you're going to decide if they have the R controlled sound, like in the word dart, or if they have the short A sound, like in the word drat. So if our first word is hard, we'd have to decide if hard goes with drat or if hard goes with dart. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Last thing that I want you to do is down at the bottom of the second day where you're going to spell the words. So we've got these words over here on the right. And what you need to do is you need to chop them into their sounds, just like we do with our Haggerty lessons, and be able to then write one sound in each box. So I'll come back and I'll show you how I did that on my dry erase board. Here we go. All right. So for that first word was harm. And I have to decide if harm is the same sound as in the word drat, or if it's the same sound as in the word dart. What do you think? Harm drat or harm dart? Think about it. Did you say harm dart? Then you did it just like me. And you just write it in that column. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing for all of those words. Now, if I was going to break harm into its sounds in these sound boxes down at the bottom, let's chop it. Ready? Harm. R. How many sounds did it have? Did you say 3? Good. So I'm only going to use 3 of those sound boxes. The first sound was, so I'm going to put an H in the first box. The second sound was R. So I'm going to write AR because that's how we spell the R sound in the second box. And the third box, I'm going to write an M because the sound was And then I'm going to leave those last 2 blank because we didn't have any more sounds in our word. Okay? You're going to do those 3 sections of your packet, and I can't wait to see your work. Good job, boys and girls. Give yourselves a hug and have a great rest of your day.